embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together we can be the change.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him.
Ooh, I like him.
Quick! The Quicker Picker-Upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you. All of you.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
At CDW, we get speed as the new currency of success.
Our team spends way too much time tending to outdated applications and software when they should be focused on driving application agility and innovation.
CDW Amplify Development Services modernizes software and application development to help accelerate innovation and digital transformation.
So you mean building new applications, UI, and mobile interfaces?
Well, you said you needed to innovate more quickly.
Oh, so he's a listener.
To do more at scale, trust CDW Amplify Development Services.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the Pregame with your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready, because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the Pregame.
parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
This is Brian Fulford. A.D. Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it.
And welcome back into the pregame show. Of course, we were made aware of some audio problems, so hopefully we got those things knocked out. But we were talking about Jackson State. They've moved to 8-0 on the season. Nation's top-ranked defense limited Southern to only 221 yards of total offense last week. 35-0 shutout, Neil.
And the big thing, my takeaway, Chuck, 3 of 18 on third downs. 3 of 18 on third downs. 3 of 18. And I think 2 of those, I know definitely one came off a penalty. So you really held them to about 1 out of 18 on third downs. I mean, what a dominant performance by the Jackson State defense.
Dominant performance by this Jackson State defense. They forced a couple takeaways. They recorded 4 sacks last week. They blocked the field goal. You mentioned it, 3 of 18 on third down. 8 3-and-outs. That jumps out for me. 6 punts for Southern last week. But you talk about the man in the middle, number 45, Aubrey Miller. He led the way with 9 tackles, 5 solos, 2 forced fumbles for big Aubrey Miller.
Getting to the ball. You know, this defense has always preached getting to the ball. Coach Prime preaches getting to the ball. Dennis Furman preaches getting to the ball. Even that interception that Shiloh Sanders came away with was a direct result of the play is not over. Get to the ball. You know, Nugget got his hands on, got a tip, and Shiloh was right there to get the pick 6 and not the pick 6. I'm sorry, the pick. But I was about to say the J6 because you know you got the J5 with the drum majors. And
there you go. Exactly.
He considers himself the 6th one, so he got the high step and actually got it. And so it's good to see just that excitement and that energy back there and that dominant performance over Southern Baton Rouge. I think the new way to spell 0 is that E-A-U-X on the end.
Had to put a little old Cajun spelling on it there, huh, Neil?
Yeah, little lanyard. But man, 35-0. You know, because that team, when you go back to those 9 years with Dawson Odom, got the best of us. And even down there in Baton Rouge last year, Coach Prime's first game back out of the hospital, it still seemed like it was just about to go their way. And Shedeur Sanders with a game-winning touchdown, and then Shiloh Sanders with a game-winning, game-preserving interception. And now you just get the sense that momentum in this rivalry has shifted back to 1400 Lynch Street.
No doubt about it. You take a look on the offensive side of the ball, Heisman Trophy and Walter Payton Award candidate, Shedeur Sanders. He goes for 246 total yards last week, 18 of 33 through the air, 194 yards, touchdown, 8 carries, 52 yards, and a couple of TDs. Shedeur turned the Jets on last week against Southern.
Yeah, that 42-yard run, man. Look, you know, I told you, I don't like to see McCubey run too much, but he's done picked up some speed in this offseason under a strength and conditioning coach, Mo Sims, and he got down that hash to the sideline and got to that pylon, man, virtually unscathed, and he really showed all the people who were watching him wondering, is this guy just a pocket passer? He shows you he does have legs and he can take one should the opportunity present itself.
You know, with that win last week, Coach Prime, he moves to 23-5 in his tenure here at Jackson State, including 19-2 over his last 21 games, 15 consecutive SWAC wins, Neil.
I'm not even gonna touch it because y'all will start bringing up stuff, and y'all wanna. It's like LeBron and MJ. Like we can't even celebrate LeBron without but MJ this, but MJ that. Come on, dog. Like, what we are witnessing here, man, has just literally never been done. It is going to another level. Yes, Jackson State has a rich and great history. But when you look at everything from being on the Tonight Show to being on 60 Minutes to being on Good Morning America, et cetera, and then combine that with the wins and the dominant way we're winning these games. And if you kind of Chuck, if you take out that spring season, that COVID season, it's even more dramatic. Because keep in mind, that wasn't his team. That team was not recruited by him or built by him. But when he got his roster in place, I mean, my God, we haven't lost one in the swag.
Yeah, that's a good point. Haven't lost one in the swag. Well, 35-0 was the score last week over Southern. And as always, we get that firsthand view from Coach Prime in his post-game speech. Roy, let's take a look at what Coach Prime had to say.
Hey, fellas, coaches, extremely proud of everyone in here. Trainers, equipment person, film crew, photography, everybody, extremely proud. That was total domination. That's the way you dominate. And the sad thing about it, we started off like hot garbage, did we not? Yes, sir. Now imagine if we put it all together. That's what I'm still chasing. Imagine if we put it all together, what it would be like. But I'm so darn proud. I can't take nothing away from this game but happiness and pure joy. Because it's funny how folks talk that talk. Every week they call me to the press conference, they talk about the opposing teams, how physical they are. And I said, you forget we got number one during defense, right? Hey, fellas, I am proud of you, man. I really am. I'm so happy to be your coach. I'm just happy to be a part of this history. Today was history. You guys are so young, you don't even understand the history. Riding through that crowd for college game day and seeing the supporters that came out to support y'all, rain or shine, was unbelievable. It was a natural high to see how much love and respect and appreciation that y'all have earned. It was darn believable. And God, I prayed my butt off, and guess what God did? He didn't allow it to rain. He didn't allow the storm and hail for what, a darn near half? So that we could get off what we wanted to get off and do what we wanted to do. So there'll be no ifs and buts about it. They can't say nothing about what just transpired. They got to get on that bus and take it like a man. Fellas, let's make sure you don't do nothing crazy tonight to risk your life, to risk your career, to risk your education, to risk anything. That was a quick shot, boy. Back there, yeah, bro, that was a quick shot. And the shot was, he ain't lying, that was a car wash. I don't know what this was. You got everything. You got everything but you. Hey, well, ride on with your helmet on. Hey, fellas, I'm proud of y'all, though, man. I really am. I am really proud of y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for everything you do, the sacrifices that you make. Hey, guys, straight up, we put on today, man. This was huge. We put on today. We put on for our city today. We put on for the SWAC today. We really did. All right, touch somebody next to you, please. I know you did. I just want them to feel. I just want them to feel a blessing. Yes, sir. That's all it is. They just want a blessing. Seniors, great job. Everybody, great job. Seniors ain't just doing that. Everybody did a great job. I'm gonna miss the seniors. But all that, man. But seniors, great job. You did a great job. I'm not gonna miss you because you ain't going nowhere. You're here. We got to finish this. Y'all act like we finished. We ain't done yet. The man you touching there is going through trials, he's going through tribulations, he's going through some obstacles in life. But he put all those aside for such a time as this, to go out there and dominate. So that guy that he's loved, he's appreciated, and he's accepted. And I appreciate all of you. God bless you. Let's have a good time.
You have a thing on there.
Oh, yeah. There you have it. Coach Prime talked proud he was of that team last week. 35-0. You can't say enough about shutting out a rival that is Southern. They came in with a lot of funk and vigor last week, but to no avail. 35-0 was your final score.
Hey, to quote Chuck Bishop as the Laystar fans, they came in full throat, but they left quiet as a church mouse.
No doubt about it. Let's transition to this, taking a look at Texas Southern. As we mentioned, we're going to play for a sellout crowd tonight for the first time in PNC Stadium history. This stadium holds 22,000 fans, and the tickets sold out earlier in the week. I tell you what, Neely, the excitement is building up here for this game. World Series is going on tonight with the Houston Astros. It could be an electric place downtown because PNC and Minute Maid are roughly catty corner from each other. But I tell you what, the tickets are on the resale market. They're pretty expensive now, buddy. Saturday, I hope you got them.
Man, economic theory, baby, scarcity, demand, price goes up. And when Coach Prime put the call out for a sellout, people are coming to see the Jackson State Tigers play. 8-0, first time in Jackson State football history. This team is 8-0. And people want to see it, man. They want to see this offense. They want to see this defense. So no surprise this game has sold out. We got a couple of more steps in this process, in this link of the chain. Here in Texas Southern to take care of business next week. We go to Mobile, where we take on Alabama A&M, who lost to Valley.
Wow.
It's not fraud. It's not. They lost to Valley. So you never want to look ahead. First things first, we're going to take care of Texas Southern. But then we go to Mobile for Alabama A&M, then down to the reservation in Alcorn for the Soul Bowl, the rural version of that. Then it's SWAC Championship. Then it's Celebration Bowl. So this team is focused on the mission at hand, dominant victory over Texas Southern, and understand that although we've made history 8-0, we're not looking to be 8-1 or 9-0. We're looking to be 13-0 with dominant victories all the way through the celebration.
Man, I tell you what, and you talk about the fervor of this game as I hear the rail cranking up behind you. But this will be only the second time Texas Southern has faced Jackson State since 2016. First time that Jackson State is returning to Houston since 2016. Third meeting here in PNC Stadium. But Jackson State was TSU's first opponent in this stadium. So they got a little bit of history. Back then, the stadium was named BBVA Compass Stadium back in 2012. When you take a look at it, Jackson State, when we started division play back in 1999, these teams have only met each other 16 times. So Jackson State has won 7 straight over Texas Southern. Texas Southern's last win over Jackson State, official win over Jackson State, was back in 2000, Neely. So Jackson State has had their way with this Texas Southern football team. But this football team comes in 4-0. They have a couple of wins, impressive wins thus far this season over Southern and Alcorn.
Yeah, they're on a 3-win winning streak. And their loss 4 games go down, scored 16 points. But in those 3 wins, 24, 34, and 37 points. Now, I had to point out, they wouldn't play in Jackson State when they put up those points because to keep these games, much like you saw Prairie View and Alcorn last night, that went into overtime. The key in this game is who's going to keep who to their averages or who's going to exceed their averages. And Jackson State giving up less than 9 points per game average. This team, this Texas Southern team, it's not going to score 37 points against its defense. It's not going to score 34 points against its defense. So what they have to do is try to make sure they can control our offense. Their defense stepping up, kind of keep this game almost like that Southern game was in that first quarter. It looked like it was going to be a fist fight, because nobody was really able to move the ball with each other. The mission for this game all week has been we're going to start fast offensively and defensively. Put points on the board and try to get a 21-0 in that first quarter.
There it is. We took a look at the opposing team as we do every week. Butch Alsener, he'll be calling the game tonight for ESPN, and had an opportunity to sit down and talk with him. He has a unique perspective. He's called both Jackson State and Texas Southern games, but he is Texas Southern's play-by-play man on the TV side of the ball. So let's take a look at what Butch Alsener had to say about this Texas Southern football team that we will be facing tonight. And welcome back into the pregame show. And as always, we take a look at the opposition, and we have none other than the longtime play-by-play television voice for the Texas Southern Tigers, Butch Alsener. Welcome into the pregame show.
Hey, Charles, how you doing, man?
Doing well, Butch. Well, I tell you what, this Texas Southern team that Jackson State is seeing this Saturday, this is a team, they have victories over Southern and victories over Alcorn, some impressive victories. Talk a little bit about this Texas Southern football team.
Well, this is not the Texas Southern football team you're used to seeing on the football team. I mean, to me, it all goes back to last year when they made the big move and put Andrew Body in at quarterback and committed full circle to him. Everything started to change. And as the season went on last year, they became a team that could score a lot of points, but they couldn't stop anybody. I mean, people were running up the score on them. So one of the big emphasis during the offseason was definitely to shore up that defense. And Coach Clarence McKinney went out, and that's one of the things they did. And what's so interesting about this game is I've had the pleasure of doing Jackson State this year a couple of times, and I've done Texas Southern a couple of times. Mm-hmm. So it's really, I'm really excited to see it. It should, just from the scope of everything and the atmosphere, it should be a great game.
Yeah, you have a unique perspective having broadcasted both teams and whatnot. So that's fascinating to kind of take a look at.
Oh, yeah, no, it is. And a little side note to everything, the Astros won last night. So game 6 will be in Houston on Saturday, tomorrow. And for those of you who know Houston, Minute Maid Park is only a couple of blocks away from PNC. So better get there early, man, because parking's going to be scarce. The Texas Southern Tigers have already announced that the game is a sellout. When we talked to Coach Prime this week earlier, he said, hey, we're helping those guys sell this game out. We're working with them. That was our goal, to sell it out. And they announced yesterday that it was a sellout. So just a lot of excitement about this. In the past, you might think Texas Southern going into a game like this might be a little bit intimidated, but I think this year they understand that Jackson State, is who they say they are. They're number 5.
Sure.
They have an awesome defense, the number 1 defense in the country. They got the Coach Prime effect going on. So, but this year I think they feel like they can play. And, you touched on it earlier. The victory over Southern, that's where all the confidence came from. I mean, I really think after that happened, everything started to change. And so now they're looking at their situation in the West, and the TSU Tigers still think they have a shot, whereas, on the other side, in the East, it looks like Jackson State may have already wrapped it up, barring something totally unforeseen. The TSU Tigers are in a situation they haven't been in years.
Sure. And you mentioned the offensive catalyst is Andrew Body. On the defensive side of the ball, this is a ball-hawking group, especially in the secondary. They lead the SWAC and interceptions. But Butch, they've taken 3 of them back for pick sixes.
Yeah, they have. And the leader in that secondary, obviously, has been Isaiah Hamilton. He wears number 7 for the Tigers. And he made a big play early in the year. He took one back against Prairie View. Like you said, they've returned 3 for touchdowns. But, they've gotten some good play from the guys up front also. Viramontes Pippins has done a good job for them. He wears 0. DeMontario Anderson. I mean, but maybe the 2 most outstanding defensive players have been Tariq Cooper and Jacob Williams. And Williams has been a bit of a surprise. He's the leading tackler on the team. And we all know about Cooper. Cooper, all preseason SWAC player, old school guy, really exceptional. Well, he's got some help this year from Williams. Williams is one of those guys, he's playing from sideline to sideline. He's a tough, physical guy, but he's also one of those cerebral guys. He understands the game. His mom's professor at TSU. He's an honor student. So he's getting it done in the classroom and on the field. But the biggest change for Texas Southern this year has to be that defense. And they're playing differently. You can see it, the strategy. The way Coach Prime described it is, they're trying to use some of the time. It's like they try to shorten the game down with their, that give and not break defensive philosophy. And he said it's worked. It's worked for them this year.
Well, you mentioned we talked about the offense, defense, very stout special teams as well. But from your perspective, what are the keys to the game for TSU?
Well, it sounds like a cliche, but the big key is the key that you always have. You can't turn the football over, especially to this. Look at last week, Jackson State versus Southern. Look at what happened in the last 2:30 of the first half. It was pretty much with 2:40 to go, a scoreless game. And then Shadur goes 42 yards for a touchdown. Then after that, Southern makes a mistake. Jackson State, another touchdown. This defense, to pass the football for Texas Southern, they got to make sure you have your protection right, that you got an extra guy in the backfield. I mean, because they just bring it after you. But it sounds like a cliche, but the most important thing is if they're going to have a shot, they can't turn the football over and give Jackson State extra possessions in that ball game.
Well, it should be a great one. Like you said, Houston will be a lively place this weekend with the Astros in town, and then Jackson State and Texas Southern a couple of blocks over. Of course, you will be broadcasting the game on the ESPN family of networks. Looking forward to it, Butch. As always, man, thank you for stopping into the pregame show.
Hey, anytime, Charles. Appreciate it.
Sure thing. And there you have it from Butch Alsener. He'll be calling the game for ESPN Plus tonight, along with Jorge Vargas for the Jackson State and Texas Southern game. But as always, every week, we bring Coach Brandon Morton in, who gives us a tremendous breakdown in terms of the X's and O's of this game. You know, Brandon, when we look at this Texas Southern team, they're a team that can put up some points, and it all starts with the quarterback, the dynamic Andrew Body.
Body, I love watching him play. He broke down a lot of field with him. Stretched the field, his legs, likes to run the ball. He's a great player. I feel like he can play at any level. Or FBS, he's at Texas Southern. He's kind of brought them up from, because during the beginning of the season, Texas Southern wasn't looked at as to be where they are right now. So a lot of it due to him, his play, how well he played, how well he's been coached up. I can't wait to get to it.
You know, Brandon, we've taken on athletic quarterbacks before. We've seen guys like Jalen Jones, Bethune-Cookman, and Rashawn McCray, even last week with Southern. But what are the keys when you are taking on these quarterbacks where you have to truly play 11 on 11 because they will pull the ball down and take off?
So the key with him, especially like Campbell, he had a great running quarterback. Body is. We have to get him off their mark. So we have to keep moving the pocket. We can't let them get comfortable. We can't have him open lanes. So we're going to get in his face early and often. We're going to contain him. We got to get big containment from 92, JT Reagan, Niles Gannon outside. They have to know their role, play fast, and play aggressive. So Andrew Body is, we have to keep the spy on him. We got to hit him early and let him know, hey, no free lanes, deep from the cover guys. We got to hit our marks. We call our blitz back. Those things we have to hit our mark. That's going to be big for us.
No doubt. Well, I mean, when we take a look at this Texas Southern team, 4-4 coming into this game, some good SWAC wins. We mentioned over Southern and Alcorn, but it's been this secondary that you take a look at with Texas Southern. They are a ball hawking secondary, 10 interceptions on the season. 3 of them that they've run back 4 touchdowns. But you take a look at this defense. What are some things that you take a look at Jackson State will have to do to get the victory in this game?
So what I like about the defense is, like you said, I say him. He's a good ball player. The SWAC number, the second pick this year, 3 interceptions. And he's a ball hawk. Like you said, when the ball's in the air, he turns into a 50-50 guy with that receiver play. He's real good in out his breaks. His hips are the challenging, but if you square him up, he's competitive. He does so well. He's not afraid to be physical. If you change the direction, get him to move his hips. I like that battle. We have that Blur Nation. They're not afraid. They bring the doors every week. They love the challenge. They are the challenge. So it's going to be exciting to see him if he matches up with Travis Thompson, whether Shane, Powers, Lee Gaines. It's going to send the ball out to me. So I can't wait to see him. And also, the defensive line doesn't get much better. They make some plays. I watched the game. They played on Southern and Alcorn. That was 2 shocking.
I tell you, SWAC this year, SWAC West it's a crazy time. I've never seen anything like this with SWAC. It's all up in the air. Every week, basically, have to flip a coin and see who will be on top. But the D line, they make a lot of pressure. I know one of the tackles and their linebacker, he has 33 tackles. I think he ties the second, third, and SWAC. They hit their mark as well. They bring a lot of pressure with that three-man front. So we want to have to just keep them that one high. We want that cover three with the one high. Sometimes when they go to the boundary, they have a trap corner, meaning that he kind of traps inside, playing apex to the wide receiver and the quarterback. So he wants to get the quarterback, he wants to get the short and throw a long ball outside. That trap technique, primary is go from inside and make the quarterback throw the long ball from when he moves in the pocket to the sideline. So we got to be aware of that, and we got to pay attention to our deals and our indicators.
No doubt about it. I tell you what, a lot of fans have, concerns coming into the Texas Southern game, especially when you're coming off emotional games, homecoming against Campbell, and then coming off the rivalry game that is Southern. Some you've seen in chat rooms and various social media outlets worried about Texas Southern being a trap game, but you get an opportunity to see this team up close every day. They have this unique ability that I think kind of sets them apart. They focus in one game at a time, and nobody is going to sneak past them. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Texas Southern, they're very focused on one of those. That's kind of what we're doing. The thing I like about our team this year is when I watched a couple games yesterday, we're still climbing each year. Still climbing. We still haven't put together our best ball. And when it comes to the wrestling team, I feel we're one of one when it comes to our side of the play. Jackson State solid. A lot of guys get prepared for it, and like Mike Tyson said, everybody has to play it. And that anomaly in the SWAC to where play with us, we realize I like to think of it as like a tiger coming to a room. They have the announcer ceremony. When that tiger comes to that room, you better find someone to run. Find someone to hide, find someone to safe. You don't have to do much talking. Texas Southern is, they kind of take that underdog mentality to where people kind of overlook them for other games, and they want to let you know, nah, you got to play ball. You got to line it up, give us some respect. You can play ball with that. So I can't do it.
So there it is, Brandon, man. You always bring it to us hard and heavy every week, giving us that inside perspective from the coach's room with the X's and O's to getting this victory tonight, man. Always appreciate you stopping by the pregame show.
I appreciate you guys so much.
No doubt. Well, Neely had the awesome opportunity to sit down and talk with, I call him, he is the guy who really brings everything to fruition, Neely, with regards to this Jackson State defense. We mentioned this Jackson State defense being the #1 defense in the nation. You had an opportunity to sit down and talk to Dennis Thurman.
Whoa, sure. Before we go there.
Stunner Shades.
We can drop that. We can drop that anytime and anywhere. Let me tell you, can't drop it anytime. Got a special guest.
Neely, they say we got a special guest. They're saying we're having some audio issues there.
What about now?
Yeah, I hear you much better now. So we were having some audio issues. Who you got here?
We got a special guest by the Pregame Show. We got the one and only 3-6 Marshall.
Whoa, bring it on in here, man.
Yeah, we got Wilkes in here. We'll talk about this one game, man. Too much. Gotta have it. Too much. You can't really see, but they can see you.
Savion Wilkinson, 3-6 Mafia. What's going on, brother? Man, welcome into the pregame show. Great to have you in. Let me ask you this, man. You have brought an element of physicality to this Jackson State offense, and I've joked with you before, man. You take some licks, but you bounce right up, man. Man, talk about how you prepare yourself week in, week out to take on this rushing load for Jackson State. So I'm gonna cut it right there. Roy, we're gonna go to a commercial. We're gonna try to get the audio straight, and then we're gonna come right back. So stick here with the pregame show. We'll be right back after these messages.
This is Brian Fulford. A.B. Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
If you think
All right, that's the magic of live here on the pregame show. But we bring back Sivion Wilkinson, number 36 for Jackson State. He is one of the top running backs in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Sivion, I was talking with you about basically, man, you bring a physicality to this offense that is palpable when you take a look at how you're able to run in between the tackles. But man, talk about just how you prepare yourself week in, week out to get ready for the load that you carry. 24 carries in the last game versus Southern.
Throughout the week, Coach Stone and the strength coaches, I give a lot of credit to them. We do a lot of stretching and ability and those throughout the week. So that's really why I'm able to go out there, take a look at it, pop right back down, and do it on a consistent basis every single week. And after the game, my body is not even hurting. So I give all the credit to Coach Stone.
When you take a look at this Texas Southern front seven on film, what is it that you see and what is it that the running backs are going to have to do tonight?
We got a lot of tendencies that we can take advantage of, as far as up front in the box. So I think we can definitely be able to run the ball effectively, efficiently, play after play, out after down, and mix that in with the pass game as well.
No doubt about it. I tell you what, man, you do such. I say you're like a Swiss Army knife. You do so much. You run in between the tackles. You bounce it outside, but you also catch the ball out of the backfield, man. Where did you get all the skills to be a top-notch running back like that, Cynthia?
Well, actually, during camp, they didn't think I could catch. I dropped a few balls early on in camp. So after one practice, I told myself, you know what, I won't drop another ball practice or game. Ever since then, I've been catching everything because I can't catch. I've always been able to catch. It was just those couple times I had some drops, and everyone thought I couldn't catch. So I took that as fuel to the fire.
Let me tell you something. You catch them when they matter. You caught that touchdown pass last week from Stewart and got this Tiger offense up and running. Exactly. Man, looking forward to tonight, man. Get your rest. Get some protein in you. We look forward to 36 running in between the tackles tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No doubt. Sivion Wilkinson, number 36 for Jackson State, part of that three-headed monster that is the Jackson State backfield as we come back live with Neely. Hopefully we got the audio issues kind of worked out, and we are right back in it. Neely, Sivion, I said he brought this physicality to this Jackson State offense. He is a Swiss Army knife. He bounces it outside, runs in between the tackles, and catches the ball as well. But all three of our running backs, they tend to do those exact same skill set.
that word. That word. The androgynous backfield.
Yes,
I was telling Savion earlier, man, out here on the patio, that like he runs so much bigger than him. He's like, he ain't a small guy, muscle mass, body mass, but he runs like 6'7", 280. Because when he hits that hole, hits that gap, that linebacker has decision to make. So you just love to see him with the block. And I think the way Texas Southern is going to, tend to drop 8 at times and try to take away our pass game, is going to really open up some opportunities to run the ball.
No doubt, man. Well, let's take a look at it, man. What do you think the keys are for Jackson State tonight to get this W over Texas Southern? As mentioned, they come in, they're averaging 25 points per game. They throw for 165 yards through the air, 167 yards or so on the ground. They are balanced, if you will, both in terms of rushing and passing. But, they got some playmakers on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I think the keys to the game are pretty simple, Chuck. It's not just stop the run, it's stop the quarterback run. That offense really flows through body. When they're in 10 personnel, they're pretty balanced in their personnel grouping as far as if they're going to pass or run. But more times than not, the quarterback ends up being 1-2 running. So I think it's going to take some eye discipline from those linebackers to make sure that they're not overreacting, to the play and try to guess, but just let it develop, trust your speed, go make the tackle so he doesn't get a big play. I think from time to time they're going to try to challenge us downfield as well. I smirked when you said they got 165 yards a game. 165 yards a game is just not going to beat Jackson State. Because you're not going to score enough to run with our offense. And then our defense pretty much is going to keep scoring. But offensively, man, it's about execution. It's about cleaning up penalties. We still have those kind of drive-killing penalties or penalties that are racist score because there was a holding on a pass that you didn't have to hold on or something like that. So I think just taking it one play at a time, I think QB1, Shedeur Sanders is going to have his opportunities. But you don't have to go out there and try to force them. So that old mantra to take what the defense gives you and then let it start opening up. So I think it's just, it's basic football philosophy. You got to block, you got to tackle, we got to make tackles on the defense. But you really got to make sure that those big explosive plays that get the ball down the field and could generate some points for them don't happen.
Yeah, for me, I take a look at it. Hopefully, the Jackson State offense, they start off much faster. That's been kind of a bugaboo throughout the course of the year. 8-0 start, but the offense has started in fits and spurts at the beginning of the game. And then, like you said, it's a big thing of execution, not beating yourselves because, from a talent perspective, this Jackson State football team is ridiculously talented. But you have to make sure you take care of the 1-2-3s, and that's taking care of the football. I think that's going to be huge in this game. But looking forward to tonight, man. 6 o'clock kickoff again. Downtown Houston will be electric. It is a sellout crowd at PNC Stadium. First sellout that they've ever had in this stadium. Jackson State has not seen Texas Southern since 2016. So a lot of buzz in the city of Houston. The city that quite honestly has quite a lot going on. But Jackson State and Texas Southern is not taking a backseat to the World Series of all things.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing that the World Series is taking place around the corner. There are more people talking about this game. This game has harder tickets to get. You talk about the city being alive. Chuck snuck us out of the team hotel last night. Make sure Coach Prime sees those pictures of it. And you could just hear the excitement even in local restaurants. With this being Texas Southern City, everybody was still talking about the Jackson State Tigers to hear the show. And Chuck, I say this with humility. This is not arrogance. This is just confidence. The fact of the matter is we have a talented team, and we have a team that's deeply talented. And the fact of the matter is, when you look at these 3 remaining regular season games, we're not facing a team as talented or as deep as us. So what happens when that comes to play is the only way you lose is you beat yourself. We can't turn the ball over. We can't have stupid penalties. We can't have penalties where somebody gets ejected. As long as we play Jackson State Coach Prime style Tiger football, we're going to be just fine, Chuck. We got to start fast. Let our depth and our talent just start to separate that thing. I've always given an analogy: the guy who can do 500 push-ups and the guy that can do 200. The first 100 push-ups, they look the same. Texas Southern has scholarship players. Texas Southern has weight room. They're not slouches out there. They've won 3 in a row. They can score some points, but they haven't played Jackson State yet. And you see what has happened 8 times in a row with teams who have played Jackson State. 8-0 ain't no fluke. 8-0 is what it is, and we're going for 9-0 tonight in Houston. Chuck, I got to tell you this. I hadn't seen a SWAC game in Houston. We aged myself ridiculous. You remember the SWAC championship? We stepped out of the end zone. Like I haven't been to a SWAC game.
I remember well. I remember well.
I've been to a SWAC game.
I think most Jackson State fans remember that one too well.
Oh man, what a heartbreak in this city. But different team, different opponent, different stadium. So, but it just being here just reminded me of that, man. But it's an exciting time in Jackson State history, Jackson State football, man. To see what these guys have done with this coaching staff, with this talent, this depth, with this programmatic support. From the fans that travel. I mean, you look at even the social media aspect was put out this week. In the top 10 in social media engagement, and the only HBCU, the only FCS school, even in the mentions because of the engagement level with people who are just thirsty for Jackson State Tiger football.
Yeah, you talk about engaged on social media. Shout out to those Tiger fan buses that are making their way over to Houston that are probably here. Shout out to the Blue Bengal fan buses and those guys. The Jackson State Houston Alumni Association had some big things last night. But I tell you what, there's a lot of excitement around this Jackson State football team. And to boot, man, hey, that's a dope jersey you got on there, bro.
Yeah, go to HBCU jerseys. HBCU jerseys, that's what sontheend.com. Got a Jackson State section on there, got a pregame show section on there. Yours looks pretty good over there too, brother.
Yeah, man, I kind of dig the D with the pregame show patch. Make sure you get the one with the pregame show patch.
I'm rocking 45. I think you're rocking 21. Those are 2 great numbers to rock, though.
Yeah, you can't beat that. You can't beat that.
And we didn't play it. Once again, we didn't plan it. We just logged on and got the same damn shirt on.
How about that, man? Any parting words for your Jacksons?
Yeah, I had a parting question. What time did you get in last night? What time you told Wendy? Are you just
I beat I beat the sunlight, brother. I beat the sunlight.
You took your shoes off at the door so the floor wouldn't creak.
Hey, you got to creak in like a tiptoe burglar, bro.
Hey, but the fans have asked for a night game, and they got a night game. You got a 6 p.m. kickoff. As Chuck has said, he's a Houston guy. He's been in Houston longer than he's been in Jackson. The traffic is going to be special because the World Series is going on. So if you're here for the game, leave early. Be patient. Like it is what it is. Kickoff at 6 p.m., 22,000 an hour venue, World Series around the corner. So just be patient and be prepared, but get there. And as Chuck always admonishes Tiger Nation, go full throat when you do.
Go full throat, Tiger Nation. Looking forward to it tonight, man. It's going to be a very electric place. PNC Stadium, World Series around the corner with the Stros going to try to get that World Series win tonight. So Houston will be alive and buzzing tonight. Looking forward to it. Well, it is another Saturday pregame show, man. Of course, we have to thank our sponsors, the Cochran Law Group, Amber Slaughter, the project architect, Chambers and Gala, been down since day one. And of course, the cool, refreshing liquid that is BioSteel. And of course, Churchill Smoke Shop, man. Appreciate all those sponsors who have contributed to what we now know is this pregame show format that our fans look for every Wednesday and Saturday to bring you Jackson State football.
That's right, Chuck. And thanks to all the folks out there who stuck with us through the audio issues. It is a live show, and I am out here in the Medical District of Houston. It's almost like trying to get a signal over UMC at the stadium. So appreciate those who bear with us and appreciate those who just look for an opportunity to piss in the comments section and try to down us. But, even with your downing, we're over 30,000 subscribers now, over 40,000 on TikTok, 35,000 on Instagram. So, hey, man, keep the comments coming. We love it.
And of course, those are the nearly final thoughts of the day. You can't go without them, bro.
Hey, at least this time I didn't make it about you. Most of the time I'm throwing a Chuck Bishop under the bus. Like, where's my Hey, somebody asked me in person at the airport, man, did Chuck Bishop really steal your sign? I was like, come on.
Oh man, it is a fun thing, this pregame show, and thank you to all who have tuned in to listen and encourage us week to week to bring you Jackson State football, a unique perspective of Jackson State football. It is a labor of love from Bishop and Neely. Looking forward to even more as we move forward. So let's bring this one to an end. Neely, your last comments for Saturday before we get down tonight.
Well, I already shot one at the haters, already made my joke about Chuck Bishop. Then I just throw out the rest of the agenda. Here at the team hotel, we got about 1 p.m. going to start some team meetings. About that 2 p.m. window, get that team meal underway at meetings. About 3:30, going to be headed toward the stadium for that 6 p.m. kickoff. So, look for the Tigers there. I know Chuck is going to make his way down here to the team hotel, and we'll be traveling with the squad per usual. Looking forward to a victory. Chuck, here it is. We were 35-0 last week. Shutouts are hard to come by in college football. Back-to-back shutouts even harder, even though at Dennis Thurman I do trust. I'm going to say Jackson State 45, Texas Southern 6. I'm going to give them 2 field goals.
There you have it. Neely has thrown out the gauntlet, has thrown out the score 45-6.
That's a 39-point spread.
No better place to put a pin in this Saturday show. For the pregame show, it is Bishop, it's Neely. Thank you to all who listen week to week with us. Looking forward to coming back with a review of Texas Southern, a preview of Alabama A&M this Wednesday. Until next time, you know how we always close this thing out. We got a team by golly. We're going to fight by golly. We're going to win by golly. It's the pregame show. It's Bishop, it's Neely here on the Black College Sports Network. We out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the Pregame. With your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready, because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the Pregame.